with today. The best of the savage moments of Bloodhound Lil Jeff's life. And this is nothing short of wild madness. You just won't believe it.
I feel like you did.
But who exactly was Lil Jeff? Born Jeffrey Harris on July 14, 2002 in Chicago, Illinois, Lil Jeff quickly became a name that echoed through the dangerous streets of his hometown. Known by monikers like Lil Jeffrey Dahmer and Lil Jeff Hardy, his reputation was built on sheer savagery, making him both feared and respected in equal measure. His short life was a whirlwind of violence, chaos, and bloodshed, with each day in the streets pushing him further into the life of crime. For Lil Jeff, life wasn't about playing it safe. It was about making a statement, and boy, did he do that. Lil Jeff's savagery wasn't just a front for the cameras or a persona to sell records. It was his reality. He lived and breathed the violent world that he rapped about. Growing up on the rough streets of the east side of Chicago, his life was shaped by a brutal environment where the weak didn't survive. His father was mostly absent, leaving his mother to raise him and his two brothers in a world where gang culture was a way of life. By the time he was 14, Lil Jeff had already seen more violence than most people could imagine. One night, his house was shot up and a bullet came within inches of ending his life. This brush with death didn't scare him, it hardened him. From then on, he was determined to never be a victim again.
My crib got shot up when I was like 14. I was some stupid ass shit. The bullet, that bitch flew like right past my face. They had shot the back and the front. Then they blew the car and set that bitch on fire.
When his older brother, already deep in the streets, introduced him to gang life, it was a natural progression for Lil Jeff. At just 18, he officially jumped off the porch, fully committing to the gang lifestyle that would soon define his existence. Lil Jeff wasn't just any gang member. He was a part of Drill City, a crew that claimed the area around 79th and Maryland. These streets were his battlefield, and he treated every day like a war. Drill City had no shortage of enemies, beefing with BKN, Trap City, TYMB, A-Trey Mob, and 800. And in this war zone, Lil Jeff was a soldier who thrived on chaos. He was known for his wild, mischievous ways on social media, where he would go live, dropping his location and daring his enemies to find him. He flaunted his weapons like trophies and wasn't shy about showing off his collection. But it wasn't just about the guns. Lil Jeff wanted everyone to know that he was a killer, openly hinting that he had over 10 bodies to his name. This wasn't just bravado. Lil Jeff was a killer, and he wanted the world to know it.
I'm taking to killing school. Class start next week. You gotta at least have 2 bodies though. For I ain't coming with no. If you ain't got shit, I can't work with no beginners folk.
One of his most savage moments came in response to the death of his close friend, Z Money. Drill City and Trap City used to be cool, but when Trap City allegedly carried out a hit on Z Money, everything changed, especially for Lil Jeff, who said Z Money's death made him see only red from then on, which led to his decision to go hard on the streets, signaling a war mantra that it's either kill or be killed.
Begun opening fire, hitting Z-Money multiple times. Z-Money would be taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where he would unfortunately be pronounced dead. Chi-Town crime chasers would later arrive at the scene to film the aftermath of the shooting, showing the police combing through the scene.
On June 25, 2023, a Trap City member named Leo was gunned down in what was clearly a targeted hit. Leo had just got into the back seat of a lift when a car pulled up and someone walked up to his window and opened fire. Leo was dead before he even knew it hit him.
Had just gotten into the backseat of a Lyft ride in the 1300 block of West Taylor Street in Little Italy just before 9 p.m. when another car approached. Someone inside hopped out, walked up to the backseat window where Leo was sitting, and opened fire.
Lil Jeff wasted no time in claiming responsibility for the hit. He and his crew went on social media bragging about how they got back for Z Money. Lil Jeff even dropped a verse that made it crystal clear who was responsible. For Z Money, we got back. It ain't take too long, bitch. I'm relentless. This kind of unapologetic savagery made Lil Jeff a legend in the streets, but it also made him a marked man.
Go ask the house that Michael Dre put shit in park.
The brutality didn't stop there. In another incident, Lil Jeff allegedly committed a double murder that will make even the most hardened criminals flinch. After being robbed by members of BKN, Lil Jeff was out for blood. On January 26, 2024, he got his revenge in the most horrific way possible. 2 BKN members, Monty and Lil Rob, were standing outside of Innovations High School when a group of masked men jumped out of 2 vehicles and opened fire. The gunmen let off dozens of shots, hitting Muncie and Lil Rob multiple times. Both men were rushed to the hospital, but neither survived.
And next thing you know, we just see like his shots going out, like it was like 20 shots.
Again, Lil Jeff couldn't resist bragging about his handiwork. He went on social media and all but confessed to the murders, claiming that they were payback for the robbery.
Started at 2 minimum, man. 2, you gotta have a minimum of 2. No, anything, you gotta have 2. You gotta have a minimum of 2 of them bitches. To come to school, you just gonna sit your dumb ass in this seat and whatever I say, do it. If you do anything scary, bitch, I'm smoking your ass.
He even released a song where he taunted his victims, quoting Money's own words and turning them into a cruel punchline in his track, Ahhh, where he covers the details of the shooting in the lines, "When I speak, it's only facts." He was screaming, "Ahhh." When he got hit, real tough up on the net. Now he's on the floor shaking, looking like a bitch. Speaking on 17-year-old Lil Money drawing his last breaths after he shot him. He would go on to say, "Just walked in lids for 2 hats. Really stepping in blood, niggas know how it get. He ain't get a chance to run, can't say that he tripped. Bounced out with 4 sticks, 2 niggas got hit." Relating to the 2 murders he executed.
When I'm sliding and I be driving this thirsty shit, you would think a nigga bap if I told you about what I did. When I speak, it's only facts. He was screaming out when he got hit.
For Lil Jeff, murder wasn't just business, it was personal, and he wanted everyone to know it.
And fuck G-Day, fuck the birds, gang. Fuck them too. Fuck a free band gang. I'm spanking one of they ass too.
Such savage moments were the things that made Lil Jeff famous, but at the same time, sealed his fate. On June 8th, 2024, he was killed in a mission that was meant to cement his authority in the streets around 5 p.m. Lil Jeff and his crew sought to skate on members of Trap City, Zone 7, in their area at 66 and Rose. The idea was to surprise their competitors, but that did not turn out as expected.
Per 310, anybody heading over there to Rhodes, use caution because this may be crossfire and now we getting a person shot. 6647 South Rhodes.
As soon as Lil Jeff spotted a rival gang member, he did not think twice and immediately got out of the car, even though his crew did not follow his lead, and tried stopping him from shooting the target. The rival, noticing this, ran towards a house that was nearby in an attempt to get away. Lil Jeff never gave up and was always on the trail of his prey. This changed when he got near the house. Another shooter who was hiding fired at Lil Jeff and managed to shoot him in the chest several times. He fell on the ground and the shooter continued firing, shooting him with no less than 15 bullets as reported by some. However, Lil Jeff's crew, Bloodhound Q50, Vert, and T Slick, who were expected to support him, failed to do so within the required time. After Jeff left out too early, they had to run away from the scene to prevent their car from being shot at by other members of Trap City. After he was killed, people were still debating on the streets who could have had the means to pull the trigger. Some Reddit fans have made out the killer to be a particular Trap City gang member known as Trap City Rob. But it was reported that the suspect was arrested but released on account of self-defense.
Following Jeff's death, fans began to obsess about both him and his killer, Lil Rob.
Whether that was fair or not remains to be debated, but nevertheless, one thing was clear. Lil Jeff's savage life has finally come home to roost. People who hated him rejoiced over his death on social media platforms, even degrading him further after his death. And it was a fitting end for somebody who had shot to fame purely due to the act of savagery.
And I swear I ain't being patient. Better fall in line cause the last nigga try to slide his ass.
Dave, shout out my kid, you tweaking. These 2 birthdays on feed.
We ain't having no horse and carriage funerals, like. We ain't doing none of that. We ain't finna spend $50,000 on the nigga who wasn't enjoying life while he was down here.
Lil Jeff's story of the Bloodhound is a rather sorrowful tale of life in the streets of Chicago. His most brutal scenes are the true reflection of the world he was living in, where to gain respect, one has to kill, and life is not very precious. There was only one way for Lil Jeff. He was a man who lived by the gun, and in the end, he died by the gun. Let me know your comments below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.